Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte has declared a lockdown of the capital Metro Manila.
Bawal lumabas ng bahay ang mga residente maliban sa frontliners tulad ng lumabas ng bahay ang mga residente.
When the pandemic comes, everything changed. In particular, the education system, from the best interaction learning class or face-to-face class to distance learning. It is a big challenge for each teacher and student to face a big change. But in the time like this, we must stay strong and take this as a motivation to achieve our dreams with the best learning outcomes. With the help of our great teachers, we can still pursue our learning and still learn from it, whether in online or offline mode.
Goal 1. To identify the different teaching strategies in an online and an offline modality.
Hello Kaguro! This video will help us review the teaching strategies we are using inside the classroom. Let's start!
A teaching strategy is the method you use to convey information to your students. There may be a particular strategy that works well with your group of students one year that won't work with your students the next year. Because of this, it's important to have lots of teaching strategies in your toolbox. Here are some of the top ideas for you to use. Number 1. Modeling. After telling students what to do, it's important to show them exactly how to do it. This will help your students who are visual learners too. Number 2. Feedback. Students don't always know if they're doing a good job without you telling them. Regularly provide written or verbal feedback for individual or group assignments. Also, it can be beneficial to turn the tables sometimes. Let the students provide you feedback to tell you how you're doing too. Number 3. Experiential learning. Students learn by doing, so create experiences for them to see the concepts in action. Let them practice the concepts in a safe environment. Then, they should reflect on the experience and discuss what they learned from it. Classroom activities that you could do for experiential learning include fun games, experiments, or simulations. Number 4. Student-led classroom. When students get to be the teacher for the day, they learn things that they wouldn't have learned otherwise. You could have students team teach or work in groups to teach a new topic. You'll find that other students will learn from their peers. Number 5. Mistakes. If you ever accidentally spelled a word wrong on the board, you know that students love to identify mistakes. When you're teaching a new skill, make an example riddled with mistakes. Let students practice the skill by identifying and fixing the mistakes for you. Number 6. Class discussion. Another way for students to teach each other is through class discussions. As students take turns discussing the subject, you can assess their knowledge and discover which student grasped the concepts and to what extent. Number 7. Cooperative learning. Students learn effectively when they're working together. Plan activities that require students to work together and learn from one another. In the process, they also learn critical thinking skills, communication skills, problem-solving skills, and more. Number 8. Inquiry-guided instruction. By asking questions and working together to solve the problems, students get to be involved in the learning process. The class can work together to determine the answer and report it. As students do the work to discover the answers on their own, they remember the concepts better and more fully. Number 9. Lesson objective transparency. Rather than letting your students figure out what they should be learning on their own, just tell them. Clearly state your lesson goals and objectives. You could announce it in class or write it on the board. Just make it simple and clear for all your students to understand. Then, they know what they're working towards and what they should know by the end of the class. This is also really helps to reduce student anxiety. Last, number 10, the graphic organizers. Graphic organizers summarize the information in a concise manner. Using a flowchart, Venn diagram, or web, students get to see the information in a new light. This helps them organize the information in their minds so they can better grasp the new concepts.
Goal 2. To compare the different teaching strategies in an online and in an offline modality.
My fifth strategy is a new name for you. It is the muddiest point. So what is the muddiest point? Teacher asks the students what is that thing which they least understood in that class. Any subject, mathematics, English, sciences, social sciences, any subject. So what is the muddiest point of today's class? What is something that they least understood? So usually this is also conducted at the end of the lesson or at the end of your class. Now once you will get those points that children understood the least, what you can do? You have a lot of options. For the common things, like something common has come up, you can revise that topic again in the class but with some different teaching strategy, right? The second option is you can use reciprocal questioning, in which peers would ask questions to each other and find answers. The third approach you can use is peer teaching, in which you will assign a buddy to them, one person who knows the answer to their question. So this is how they can learn from each other. Or you can use the flipped classroom technique. So these ways you can use to clean the muddiest point that you identified in your class. So these were the 5 powerful teaching strategies.
Goal 3. To demonstrate teaching strategies in an online and in an offline modality.
Upang matiyak natin na abot kamay pa rin ang dekalidad na edukasyon sa gitna man ng pandemya. Mayroong 3 learning delivery modalities na pwede mong pagpilian. Ito ay ang distance learning, blended learning, at homeschooling. Ang distance learning ay isang uri ng learning delivery modality na kung saan ang pag-aaral ay magaganap nang walang physical na interaksyon sa pagitan ng mga guro at estudyante. Ito ay nahahati sa 3: modular learning, online distance learning, at TV or radio-based instruction. Sa modular distance learning, ang mga mag-aaral ay bibigyan ng mga books at self-learning modules at iba pang learning resources gaya ng activity sheets at study guides. Ang learning modality na ito ay maaaring printed o digital. Sa printed modular distance learning, hindi kailangan ng anumang gadget upang makapag-aral. Ang mga mag-aaral ay bibigyan ng naimprentang module na kanilang pag-aaralan sa loob ng kanilang mga tahanan. Ang paaralan ay magtatalaga ng lugar at oras na pagkukuhanan ng mga module. Ang mga magulang o guardians lamang ang papayagang kumuha ng mga module at hindi ang mga bata. Ang mga nakatalagang guro ay magbibigay din ng mga karampatang panuto kung paano sasagutin ang mga module. Maaari ring tumawag ang mga bata sa kanilang mga guro kung sila ay may mga katanungan tungkol sa nilalaman ng kanilang mga module. Samantala, ang digital module distance learning ay para sa mga estudyanteng may gadget ngunit walang internet connection. Sa pamamaraang ito, ang mga bata ay bibigyan ng mga digital files na nakapaloob sa flash drive o CD na kanilang pag-aaralan at sasagutan gamit ang kanilang mga devices gaya ng computer, tablet o smartphone. Ngayon, pag-usapan naman natin ang online learning. Ang learning modality na ito ay para sa mga mag-aaral na mayroong gadgets katulad ng computer, tablet, smartphone at syempre, internet connection. Ang 2 uri ng online learning ay synchronous online learning at asynchronous online learning. Sa synchronous learning, ang mag-aaral at ang kanilang guro ay sabay na mag-online para mag-conduct ng online classes. Para itong normal classroom discussion pero ito ay nangyayari online at sa loob ng isang virtual classroom. Sila ay maaari magtalakayan sa pamamagitan ng video conferencing, live chatting o live streaming lecture. Samantala, sa asynchronous learning naman ay mayroong sariling schedule ang mag-aaral. Nakabatay ito kung kailan niya kaya at kung gaano niya kadalas kaya mag-online. Sa kanya sariling oras, ang mag-aaral ay mag-online upang mapag-aralan at masagutan ang mga materyales na ibinigay ng kanilang guro sa isang online learning platform. Dumako naman tayo sa blended learning. Ang blended learning ay isang uri ng learning delivery modality na pinagsama ng alinman sa uri ng distance learning tulad ng online distance learning, modular distance learning, at TV or radio-based instruction. At ang panghuli ay ang homeschooling. Ang homeschooling ay isang uri ng learning delivery modality para makapag-aral ang mga kabataan kahit sila ay nasa kanilang mga tahanan. Posible ang homeschooling sa tulong ng kwalipikadong mga magulang, guardian o tutor na sumailalim ng training. At iyon na nga ang mga iba't ibang learning delivery modalities na pwede mong pagpilian.